Another half of Chicago Bulls basketball, another double-digit deficit. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? We got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. And Chicago Bulls are getting their ass kicked. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the Chicago Bulls are down by 10 right now, but it easily could be more. Easily could be more when you look at this, the way that this game is going for the Bulls. And this just listen, it just continues to be, we are shaped up for a very disappointing season of Chicago Bulls basketball is what I think we're seeing here, ladies and gents, is that regardless of whatever it is, I see people blaming the refs, and you're absolutely right. This is a weirdly officiated game. Despite the Bulls shooting 52% right now from the field, they're allowing 54% from the Atlanta Hawks and 42% from three. Now, the Chicago Bulls have made more threes, so that 3-point discrepancy isn't necessarily as big of a factor as what you would think it is for this team. But overall, man, this team, it just seems like they just don't have any energy. Like, the Atlanta Hawks played last night. The Bulls didn't. The Bulls didn't play last night. Now they are limiting turnovers, which is really good, right? So that's a good thing for this team. You like to see them limiting turnovers. They are moving the ball around. As of right now, we got 15 assists on 23 made baskets. That's cool, right? That's cool. Zach LaVine is only double-digit scorer right now for this team with 14 points. Nikola Vucevic is close with 9 points. 5 points from Julian Phillips off the bench, 7 points from Ayo Dosunmu. Miles Busilis got 5 minutes in that first half, didn't take a single shot. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, this team just seems very lethargic tonight. And I didn't necessarily expect that. I know that they traveled and whatnot, but didn't necessarily expect them to look like this lethargic when it comes down to it. And maybe that changes in the second half of this game. I mean, like I said, they did have a nice little spurt there in the second quarter. If this team can come out in the third quarter and play with some energy, they can be right back in this game. This is not one of those games where it's completely out of the realm of possibility that the Bulls can turn this one around. You look at the second chance points right now. The Atlanta Hawks are winning that battle. 11-7. So, we can get that together. We were winning off points in the fast break. They have 34 points in the paint already. 34 points in the paint already, and 11 points off turnovers, despite the Bulls only having 8 turnovers in this game. They got 11 points off of them. 34 points in the paint, 11 points off turnovers. You got to get that together, Bulls. You really got to get that together if you want to be able to be in this game, man. You got to get that together. We're getting out rebounded by 4. We're getting out energy when it comes down to it, man. Listen, it's been a tough game for the Chicago Bulls. This is a tough game, man. And the Bulls continue to always play from behind. And that's not going to get you to win a lot of basketball games when you constantly are coming back from deficits for the whole entire game. The Bulls got to be better in the execution of this if they're going to want to be able to win these basketball games. That just is what it is. They got to be better in that aspect of things. And they just have not shown a consistency to be able to do it. Now, I'm not the Joe Cowley guy. Like, I don't really care for Joe Cowley, but like, I'm telling you, like, him hearing those words, just reading those words to say that AK's giving it 30 to 35 games before completely going into let's keep the pick mode. I don't know, man. That's seeming more and more like a real possibility of something that we could be looking at. It seems like a more of a possibility every every day that goes by. Great point here from Brock. We got to move more without the ball. You're 100% right. 100% right. Geo, Haize, what's up? Don't know if I can handle another 72 games at least we keep our pick. I mean, and that's where a lot of shifting, the mindset is going to shift for this team for sure. Haize, what's going on with these guys, dog? Why can't they lock in on D? Because they suck defensively. Like, listen, this is a team that's not good defensively. And it's not just because of the skill. They're not good basketball IQ defensive players. Outside of Ayo and P. Will, right? Julian is cool. Dalen's cool too, right? Outside of those 4 guys, like, I don't think anybody on this basketball team has a plus defensive IQ. Zach doesn't. Kobe's an active defender, but it's not because he has some amazing defensive IQ, right? So this team's ceiling defensively is just it's in the toilet. Like the ceiling is the basement. That's bad. For the Bulls defense, the ceiling is the basement, meaning that at best you're looking at a team that you're going to be frustrated by defensively night in and night out more than likely. That's just where you are when it comes down to it. Mana said the rookie doesn't want to see him, and we ain't even seen Modest. He looks lost, needs to play like he played against the Mavs. Yeah, I mean, listen, as a rookie, I can excuse rookies being up and down, especially when his minutes been up and down. He played 5 minutes in this game. Keep in mind, when we saw Modest versus the Mavs, he played 13 minutes in the first half of the game. I think what Modest is showing right now is that he's a player that like every player can develop differently, right? When you look at Jimmy Butler in his rookie year to his second year, he developed without really getting a lot of minutes. Some rookies can do that. Some rookies can develop without needing to play. That's why I wasn't necessarily against Modest Bucilis being sent to the G League, because some people, they just need the reps, they need the minutes, they need the time, they need to be out there to develop. And what I think what Modest is that he finds his rhythm when he's out there longer, when he doesn't have to worry about getting pulled. When he does, he plays a lot differently. So I think that we're seeing that play into the fact with Modest Bucilis for sure. But at the end of the day, like I wish that we could fix it. I don't. I said it before. Billy Donovan has to have a concerned effort to make sure he gets Modest Bucilis minutes. Now with the double digit lead, I can get it. You want to go to some other people, maybe some players you can trust a little bit more. But I tell you what, you didn't teach T didn't check in this game. Torrey Craig isn't out there, right? Like Modest Bucilis, to me, you got it. Why did we see the ball headed hoe in the first half of this game? There's no reason for Javon Carter to see games in the first. See minutes in the first half of games. There's just no reason for it. There's no reason for it. My honest opinion, they need to pressure the perimeter and not give them time to set up plays. Yeah, I get what you're saying there, and that listen, that is a switch of philosophy. The Bulls definitely switched their philosophy almost to give up more in the middle because they have such bad perimeter players. But it just this team, I think, really with a true rim protector would be so much better. Like Joakim Noah in his prime would make this team at least a middle of the pack defense, just because of how he's able. When that was how we used Joakim Noah. If you did make it past the first line of defense, it was going to be tough points at the rim. Him and Taj were able to do that amazingly well, right? And I think this team would really benefit from that type of center. Now, I'm not saying they can just go out there and get it. It's not that easy. But I think when you look at the personnel that we have would benefit a lot from having that type of center on this roster, as well as having a point guard like Josh Giddey, Lonzo when he's healthy to be able to get those guys the ball. So when that's not happening, like the Bulls just don't have the personnel to be a solid defensive team, mainly because of the defensive basketball IQ. It's just not there, right? Like I said before, and I always use this analogy. We tend to think what sports is like. If you just keep trying, you can get there. And it's much like in school. We all went to school with somebody who they may have tried every single day to study, to give it, and the best that they can get is a C- or a D. The best that they can get, right? Because some people, they're just, no matter how much time you can give them, no matter how much position you can put them on, they're just going to be subpar. This is a Bulls team that is just really going to be subpar defensively, I think, for the whole entire season, because they just don't have the personnel. They just don't. So, it sucks, right? You would like to think that this team could be better, and effort can help, right? We've seen effort help in spurts for the Bulls, but your offense has got to be on point, right? They're basically the opposite of the Chicago Bears, right? Whereas the Chicago Bears defense is so good that it's like, all right, offense, you just got to go out there and put up 28 points and we can get you. The Bulls offense can get you there, but you just need the defense to just make a couple of stops when it's really on the line. And they're not going to do that. Chicago Bulls looking like 2023-24 Pistons. Not that bad, Eads. It's not that bad. Saying thank you for the super chat, but I don't think that bad. I could be wrong, but I don't think that bad. We needed an air ball, so that's why Javon Carter was out there. That is hilarious. That was hilarious. BDB, that is a good point. We need rim protection. Rim protection would help this team a whole lot. A whole lot. A.TV. This team shows a lack of leadership, lack of heart, and hustle. That Minnesota and Utah game showed me that this is no way teams pop they shit on the Bulls like they do. We need attitude, not this light skinned ish. Oh, come on. Well, why do we got to go to the light skinned ish, right? But they do need an edge, and they don't have it. They just don't have it. Is the defense worse than last? Yeah. What do you mean? It's extremely worse than last year's defense. That defense had Alex Caruso. That defense had Javonte Green at times, right? For the latter half of the season. That team had Andre Drummond. We have nobody that's even really the caliber of those three guys. Walker Kessler and OG Anunoby would be dream targets for this team. No, they wouldn't, and you know why? Because that's moves for a team that's trying to compete. I don't think that that's where this Bulls team is. They're trying to develop. I just don't think that that's where this team is. We needed something to shine on the court, so we used Carter. That is hilarious. That's funny. That is hilarious. But I mean, listen, this is what it is, man. This is going to be a rough season, and y'all can't say I didn't warn y'all for this. I absolutely warned y'all about this. I said coming into this season, they'll always be behind in the first two quarters. They just can't get their stuff together for all four quarters. Yeah, I mean, listen, and the starting lineup is the starting lineup is bad. It's bad. I reckon that there's but little between losing and winning for this team. I'm still confident that they'll rise. Hey, hold out that confidence. Like, I'm not here to tell you guys not to be confident. Let's see. A Joakim Noah type player minus the jump shot would be great for this team. I mean, Joakim Noah with the jump shot because it went in, especially towards the latter half of his career. Well, the middle part of his career. But I don't even think at this point, like a true rim protective defensive minded center would be more impactful than they don't need to have off. We can find offense, right? We can get offense. We got Kobe, we got Io. We got I don't know if you can say Io with offense as far as this season. You still got Zach on this team, right? We just man, it's tough. Hey man, you can't deny you bought into the first few. I mean, I bought into the hype, but go back and look. I said, hey, if this continues, like I even said then, if this continues, and I specifically said by the end of next week, if this continues, I'll up my win prediction. But even in me getting caught up in I was definitely excited. Even then, I said I'm not changing my predictions of 30 to 34 wins. So I didn't let my hype over that make me all of a sudden think that this team was going to win more games. I said it's fun, but we need to see it sustained. And now they ain't sustaining it. It's gone. It's done. That's why I didn't up my win prediction. Still, at the end of the day, still 30 to 34 wins. That's where I have it. 30 to 34 wins. Hey, the Chicago Bulls have the Diddy into. Well, come on, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing? Shay. I expect better from you, bro. Well, Haize, your God-given talent and charm makes shitty seasons way more bearable. Hey, that's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. So, has Josh Giddey had a triple-double yet? No. You think I'm just going to eat it for fun? Come on now. Haize hung in there for the first for 5 games. Now he's out. It's bad, fam. No, I mean, listen. I'm going to go the ebbs and flows with this team, meaning that if they're playing good, I'm going to give the acknowledgement that they're playing good. But I'm not going to change and all of a sudden think this team is going to be a team that's going to make it far or make a playoff run or avoid a play-in or make it out the play-in until I see something sustained. That's why, like I said, even in my excitement over how the Bulls offense looked at the beginning, I said it. I'm not changing my prediction for this team until they make it through something. It is what it is, man. I've gone from OKC to the Bulls due to Giddey trade. It's like going from chocolates to boiled lollies. That is hilarious. It's like, no, listen, you're giving it a little too much credit. It's like going from chocolate to shit. It's shit. That's a shit pop. Not a cake pop. That's a shit pop. But the game's back on. Love you guys. Go Bulls. I'll see you guys after the game. Peace, y'all.